Hey everybody, the purpose of this video here is to show you exactly what an annotated bibliography is. If you are watching this video, I just want to remind you that I made this video for my high school honors English class in Indiana. So just giving you some context in case I may show you things that are different from your teacher or your professor, but just to let you know, I do follow MLA format for everything. And this annotated bibliography reflects the latest changes in the MLA 8th edition handbook. Okay, so first thing I have to explain to you exactly is what an annotated bibliography is. There's a difference between a bibliography and a works cited. Bibliography has to do with reading. It's just stuff that you have read. A works cited isn't developed until after you conduct your research, and the works cited is the work and the work, the research, the literature, everything that you directly cite and source within your paper. So bibliography and works cited are two entirely separate things. And yes, you can have both. That you may have at the end of your research paper your works cited, those materials that you directly resourced and referenced within your paper, and you may additionally have a bibliography. And all that does is it just tells the reader of your work what else you have done to read and research and be more well-rounded, even if you have not directly referenced it in your research paper. So at the very beginning part, like the very first step of doing a research paper, making an annotated bibliography is very helpful because it allows you to think critically about your sources. I mean, how often, whenever you are doing a research project, and one of the first things that your teacher tells you to do is, okay, I want you to find me 5 sources, and you're a little lazy butt, and the only thing that you do is you find the first 5 things that come up on a Google search that match your keywords, but you don't actually look to see if it's worth it. An annotated bibliography forces you to do that. So now that I have told you the difference between a bibliography and a works cited, let's break down the annotating. If you annotate something, that means that you are taking notes. So this is a bibliography, a list of readings that also has notes on it. All it is a list of citations done in MLA format, and underneath each one of them there is a short description of what type of source that it is and how it will be useful for your paper. Okay, this is, again, helps you to think critically and prove to your instructor that you are using valuable sources. So in order to set this up, you're going to have your document with your page number, last name, and the page number in the upper right corner. Have your MLA heading with your name, the teacher's name, the name of the class, and the date that the work is due. And then have your title be Annotated Bibliography, and then your topic. So this here is just for an imaginary research paper that I would be doing about the influence of Hoosier writers. And so I'm just going to go through each one of these step by step. So you can see for the first one here, we have the complete poetical works of James Whitcomb Riley, published in Bloomington by Indiana University Press, 1993. You can see with the new MLA format, we only have periods after authors and titles. Everything else has commas between it until we get to the end. So you can see I have my citation, and I have my hanging indent, and then there's a short paragraph after that is not indented, okay? And here's the description. This source is an anthology of all verse by Riley. It contains no academic essays or commentary, only the poems themselves. They are in chronological order, not by subject matter. This resource will be good for studying what Riley wrote at certain times in his life. So what I have done here is I said explicitly what type of source it is. Notice I just didn't say, this is a book. More specifically, this is an anthology of poetry. Okay, and clarified that it did not have anything else. It was just the poems. Then I also included a line about why this paper or why this book would be good for me. Okay, so I specifically said exactly what it is, not just that it is a book. Next one. Ralph D. Gray was the compiler and editor of Indiana History, a book of readings, published in Bloomington by Indiana University Press in 1994. This is a collection of essays, again, being specific about what type of source it is, all right? You can pause this video at any time and stop and read each one of these individually. I'm not going to read all of them to you. Next one, Haven Kimmel wrote A Girl Named Zippy, Growing Up Small in Moreland, Indiana, published in New York, Broadway Publishers, 2001. This is a memoir. Memoir. You notice I kind of give a little bit of an extra space between each one of these before going on to my next one. E.C. Roberts wrote English, Indiana. It was compiled by Nick Roberts, published in Bloomington, Indiana University Press in 1991. This is a collection of oral stories. This next one is a little bit more complicated. Oh, sorry, gosh. Sorry. Kent C. Ryden wrote the essay Writing the Midwest, History, Literature, and Regional Identity. This is an academic journal that appeared in Geographical Review, Volume 89, Issue 4, published in October 1999 on pages 511 to 532. I found this on the database JSTOR, and I included the most recent access information that I found it on the 5th of November 2016, and I included the link because now links are back in with MLA. Access dates are optional. I find them to be helpful myself as a writer, so I include them in there, but MLA no longer requires you to have the access, but they do require you to include your links. Notice that my PDF here is sensing that this is a URL, but notice how this is not blue underline hyperlink. Whether you are doing Microsoft Word or Google Docs, you can easily right-click and remove hyperlinks. So I said here, this is an academic journal essay. All right. So a couple little notes here that I want to make sure we go over, that you complete a citation for each source and be sure that you type it using a hanging indent. Underneath each one of the citations, describe what type of source you have read and give a brief summary of its content, and include the depth of content and how valuable it could be in the research. Really think about whether or not using this source is going to be worth your time, because let me tell you, doing this now saves you a step later when you sit down to actually do your research and you realize out of your 5 sources, only 2 of them are worth your while. That's very, very frustrating, okay? Be sure as well to list them in alphabetical order. You want to list them in alphabetical order by the first entry. Articles do not count, so going backwards, we have R, K, Gray, and articles don't count, C. So I hope that this helps you understand exactly what an annotated bibliography is. If you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. Thanks.